Good afternoon or good morning to those who are not on Eastern Standard Time like me. But good afternoon. My name is Nimaj Driscoll, business credit coach here at NAV, and I'm really excited for today's webinar. We're going to be approaching business credit and financing in a different way today. So most people think that building credit or building business credit is the direct ticket to getting funding. Oftentimes we think, well, hey, if we open some accounts or increase our score, the money will follow. It's not actually how it works. So today we're going to be discussing how business credit is not the entire system, but business credit fits entire inside of a system, and it's a signal within a system. So I'm going to show you how lenders really evaluate businesses in the real world, how your company is going to be judged based off of, your positioning, and prepare yourself for financing so you can get to the things that you're actually looking for when you are choosing to go on a business credit journey. So just, other things. I've worked as a lender for a number of years, and now I coach businesses across the country. So I've seen both sides of this. So what we're going to share today is how we can actually get you credit that means something for your business's growth. All right. So one of the first things that I want to discuss is one of the biggest misconceptions about business credit in general. Many entrepreneurs believe that business credit and personal credit work the exact same way. And it makes sense, as individuals, we are accustomed to personal credit. We have more interaction with that, so when you get a personal loan, a credit card, a mortgage, those things are evaluated a certain way, but businesses are looked at quite differently. There are some similarities, but if you assume that if you just open up accounts or do business with enough vendors or business credit issuers or lenders, and you increase your credit score, that the funding will follow. Business credit doesn't work that way. So what we're going to talk about now is how business credit fits inside of a larger system that lenders look at when they determine whether or not your business can be trusted with capital. So business credit is all about trust. Your business credit report, your business credit score, it's a reflection of who trusts you and can lenders trust you with their money. So I often put it as simple as this. Your good business credit score or business credit score in general is like a resume. Your business credit report is like a resume. When you apply for a job, the history that you have in previous jobs often signals, because signal is the theme for today, it signals that, okay, so this particular person might be good at doing what they're applying for, or they have the capability to. So it's all about capability. So building trust is the key when it comes to applying for financing. If on paper you look trustworthy, that's only the first step. Once a lender peels behind the curtain, they want to see, well, do you actually have a business that is fundable? So it's not just being visible that creates fundability. You actually have to be fundable. And how do you become fundable? You have to have a strong business. So it's all about responsibility. It's all about repayment behavior. Your business credit report documents your activity, your payment behavior, and then how your business looks. So also look at it like a book, right? So when you look at a book, when you consider reading a book, oftentimes the cover is what draws you, right? So you want your cover, your business credit report, to be that thing that draws them in, that looks good, and you want the contents, so the pages in the book, to actually be strong. So the real question is, can you be trusted? Can I trust you? So trust comes from the 5 signals of business credit. Okay. So the 5 signals of business credit trust. This is what is being evaluated. Can I count on this business to be able to pay back what it's looking to borrow? That's the very first thing. So we want to start to everybody on this webinar right now, start to think about, okay, well, what track record do I have with financing as a company? All right. Are there things that I've paid back successfully? Are there things that I may have struggled with? And if you don't have NAV, you oftentimes don't have the ability to see what the lenders see or what the credit bureaus have, for you on your credit report. So it all goes together and making sure that everything that is visible is verified, because that is oftentimes the only thing that people have to go off of when you're being evaluated. So this is the five signals framework. So the five signals framework is designed to capture all of the things that are being evaluated. So number one, your business identity. Who are you? Okay. What type of business is this? We'll get into it in later slides, but this is where we start to look into, what are your NAICS codes? What industry are you in? What year did you start? All of the things that are associated with who your business is and how it looks as an actual entity. All right. So your identity tells lenders that you are real. Number two, very important, financial activity. So financial activity tells them that you're active. So you got to be real first and you got to be active. Okay. So if you have a business that has limited transactions, not much going on, not much activity, doesn't help you as much. Credit behavior. Number three, very important. This tells, lenders how you pay. Do you pay on time? Do you pay late? Do you pay slow? Do you not pay at all? All of these things go hand in hand. And if you hit all of these signals, and all of these signals are strong, because weak signals don't put you on the path for capital, but strong signals, especially when all of these work together, say that you're ready or more likely to be ready on the surface. Credit diversity, number four, very important. So the diversity shows you the type of experience that you have. Oftentimes the mixture of credit. You have business credit cards. Do you have vendor accounts? Different types to show that your company is good at managing its obligations. And lastly, operational stability. So that tells them that you're sustainable. How long will you be around? Do you actually operate a business that has the likelihood to be around long enough to pay them back their money, right? So again, trust, trust, trust. So all of these things are signals of trust. So you want to start to look at your business credit report as a big collection of trust signals. It's a snapshot of your business's operational health. This is the first thing that those who do evaluate your business credit report are going to be looking at to see if your company, your business is trustworthy. Strong businesses build these signals over time, and business credit itself is just one piece of a much larger picture. If your business is stable, this is the key to be considered for financing. And there's several different types of financing. You want to run a well-run and stable business, so when it's time to apply for financing, you have more options. Because the less signals that you're showing that you're ready for capital, then the less options that you'll have, if you have options at all. So really start to think about not how much credit can I get, but how can I improve my business so I can show proof that I'm running a strong operation that has a strong operator, which is you as the business owner behind it, and that you have a company that has the capacity to take on whatever financing that you're using to continue to grow the company. So that's what it's all about. Owner, business owners, we don't get into business to get loans. We don't get in business to get credit cards and get debt. We get in businesses to be able to create opportunities for ourselves, to build wealth, to do things for the community, to give us an opportunity to monetize or showcase our skills and talents and all of those things, right? Your own business credit journey is unique. So there's no one size fit all solution for every type of businesses out there. So it's always good to get clear on what you're trying to accomplish. So when I talk to, business owners, whether it's, face to face, whether it's, with Nav on the phone across the country, then these are the things that I ask in calls. I say, hey, what does your business do? Help me understand. Because a bank, a lender, a business credit issuer, they can't fund you if they don't understand you. Okay. So that's really key. Want everybody to walk away with that. You can't be funded if you can't be understood. So what does your business do? What type of industry are you in? How long have you been doing this professionally? Because your experience often matters. And how long has your entity been established? Because once your entity has been established over a couple years, that starts to build some of that trust and credibility on paper, which ties back to that first signal, which is identity. Okay. Why did you sign up for NAV? How did you find NAV? And then also, why did you sign up for NAV? So the why. So we want to start living in the why, because the why is the thing that gets us to where we want to be, to the outcome. So, and that ties back to my point. Business owners, we don't sign up for loans because for the sake of having loans. We want that particular credit that we're building, that particular financing position that we have to achieve a certain goal. Help me buy a truck. Help me get the building that I'm looking for. Help me get the working capital to be able to, start some of these construction projects that I have. Why did you sign up for NAV? Most people sign up because they want access to their credit information, and you can't fix what you can't see. So that's the beauty of NAV, giving you your credit reports every month. So being able to have access to that is really key, and being clear on why you're doing this. What are your business credit goals? So everybody's goal is different. Some goals are, hey, I just want to be able to take advantage of opportunity when it arises. Okay. And that's a great goal. Some people have a more immediate need. It's like, you know what? I'm really having trouble because I have slow receivables, and I need to be able to pay my staff and still continue to pay bills in between waiting to get paid. All right. So that's an immediate need. You might need a line of credit. Okay. You might need equipment to grow. So whatever need that you have, you need to start thinking about that. So I want everybody to ask themselves, take inventory. This is a space to do that. Well, what are my actual business credit goals? And your business credit goals can't just be, I want to build my business credit. For what? Okay. So NAV is here to help you with the for what, with the what's next. Okay. Do you currently have any business credit? So this is important too. Not all business credit reports. You may have business credit cards, you may have business loans, you may have a commercial mortgage, a business auto loan, all of the nine, right? But you want to start to look at your credit report and see, well, what's showing up. So if it doesn't show up, I won't say it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but you're being evaluated on what can be seen. So you want to start to think, well, what is my experience with credit or credit that has been issued to my business that is either on your credit report or may not show up on your credit report at all? And how do I handle those obligations? So start asking yourself all of these questions and understanding that your business provides the context for everything else. So this is just the start. So these are questions you absolutely must have the answer to. You should have a business bank account. So if you're applying for financing, the last thing you want to do is submit personal bank statements. All right. You're a business for a reason. So if any of you only have a personal bank account, it's time to open a business bank account because legitimacy is extremely important. Make sure that you don't commingle your funds. So you want to be able to show that your business operates as a business and you personally are separate from that. And that's how you do that. This is very important. Are you pre-revenue or are you generating sales? Pre-revenue companies often are looking for startup capital. Sometimes this can be a little bit difficult if you don't have much to show for, because again, lenders, finance companies, they're looking to see, well, do you have paying customers? Who's paying you so you can pay us? So you want to start to have that lens when you're going about searching for financing or working on building your credit so you can be eligible for these opportunities. Okay. Now, if you're generating sales, then that's, put you closer to the direction that you're looking to get or the outcome that you're looking to get. So having sales is always a plus, and knowing who your customers are. So sometimes when applying for financing, it may be as simple as an online application, but sometimes you may have to actually speak to somebody about these things, right? So when you're being interviewed about your business, you want to start to be able to articulate these type of questions because these are the questions in which you're being evaluated on. So are you running a business that is business to business? Are your customers actually other businesses, or are you business to consumer? So are your customers, direct to customer, more individual? Sometimes we have a combination of both. Taking it a step further, it's also good to know who your end user is. Your customer may not be your end user, right? So I'll give you an example. I run my own financial education firm. I partner with nonprofits and other organizations that do support work for small businesses in the city that I live in. So I teach, I do financing education and things similar, right? So my customer is the actual business, but my end user is the entrepreneur itself. So you want to start to look and hone in your business model. Sometimes you might have to switch. You might realize, wow, I've been going business to consumer and it's not yielding me the results that I could have if I was business to business or vice versa. So how does this tie into financing? Because one of the things that often delay us from being able to have revenue is making sure that we have the right business model. Okay. So again, sales are key. Sales are key. What was your gross revenue last year and year to date? Everybody should be able to answer this question. And if you can't answer this question, it's okay. You want to be able to use tools like Nav's Cash Flow Health tool, right? So Nav's Cash Flow Health is essentially bookkeeping software that comes with your Nav subscription if you're on our build or expand plan. This will be able to generate a profit and loss statement, show you how much you're spending, how much money the business is actually bringing in. Okay. And the reason why these things are very important is because if your financing request, if what you're applying for is usually like larger capital, they want to know, what did this business do last year? Are they growing? Are they, going backwards a little bit? Um, are they on pace current day, right? This is where your profit and loss statement comes up, to be able to see trends. So business credit and financing and evaluation is all about trends, predictability, making the lender comfortable. So what we have to do to get finance is be able to make whoever's giving us money, whoever we're borrowing money from, comfortable. And how do you do that? You have your paperwork together and you understand where you are in your business cycle. So that, goes back to tracking your sales, tracking your expenses. So bank statements. Bank statements are often undervalued. Okay. So lenders love them. Lenders make a lot of decisions off of bank statements. Sometimes as business owners, we don't always understand, well, the power of a really strong bank statement. So your bank statement is a reflection of when money hits your account, how long it stays there, and then when it leaves. If you want to be able to get financing, you want to be able to show that your company has stability, that it has consistency in getting sales, generating revenue, hence revenue patterns, as we can see. And you want to make sure that you show some type of liquidity. So what do we mean by that? You often hear bank terminology like average daily balance. Now, this is a big one. Now, not everybody uses this type of, formula or thing that they look at, but it's common in underwriting. So how long does the money stay into your account? And on average, out of all 30 days in a month, what does your ending balance look like each day? Okay. So making sure that you keep some money in the account. It doesn't have to be a ton of money. That's relative to your business structure and what you're able to do. But having a little bit of cushion makes you look a little bit stronger. So again, a lot of this stuff is how you look, which signals how strong your business is and how your business performs. Your bookkeeping records and expense management, absolutely critical. Okay. So having that bookkeeping software, having your profit and loss statement, being able to generate a balance sheet and see where your financial position is at all time is going to be able to help you operate better. So you can not just be approved for financing, right? But most importantly, you need clarity, financial clarity to effectively run a business because we're in this for the long haul. We want sustainability. And as we can see, signal number 5 is all about sustainability. So how long will you be here? And are you running an operation that is able to, last a length of time? Because as we know, most businesses, fail within the first 5 years. So we don't want to be one of those businesses. We want to be on the other side of the statistic. Okay. So making sure that you're operationally sound, and making sure that your revenue and you're doing revenue generating activity is going to be key because banks, financiers, lenders, they love consistency. Hey, does this business bring in $10,000 a month or is it seasonal? Do they, have 10,000 here, 2,000 here, 1,000 here, 5,000 here, nothing for a long stretch? Well, if you don't have consistency, it's going to be hard to be able to get the outcome that you're looking for. All right. So the theme here is us as individuals, we are evaluated differently. Business credit works much different than personal credit. Your personal credit, for one, is the scoring is much different. It's driven by FICO. So FICO created the scoring models for consumer credit. As you notice with business credit, the bureaus themselves are the ones that actually create your business credit score. So the scoring is different. How things are weighted are much different. Okay. So business credit is going to be a lot off of your activity. So it's not just good just to have accounts for the sake of having accounts or trade lines for the sake of trade lines. Is what are you doing? What are you using? What is your spending patterns? Because if you're not spending any money, you're not showing proof that your business actually can pay things back on time or pay things for an extended period of time. So it's all about making these patterns and showing that comfortability, which helps you get approved for financing. So let's dig into this a little bit deeper because there are a lot more differences when it comes between business and personal credit. So for one, personal credit is governed by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So that's a law that requires your personal credit to report. So when you get those same loans, when you get a personal loan, a personal credit card, a vehicle, a mortgage, those things report to your personal credit due to the FCRA. Major personal credit bureaus or consumer credit bureaus are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Now, business credit, on the other hand, does not fall under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So business credit doesn't have consumer protection laws. Business credit reporting is largely voluntary. So what does that mean? That means it's up to that particular credit issuer if they report at all, and if they choose to report. So not every creditor reports to every bureau. So this is the biggest thing that is a shock for most business owners when they realize they say, "Hey, well, I have a credit card from this company. Well, I know I took out a SBA loan or I had this. Why isn't it on my credit report?" Well, because business credit laws are not set up the same way as personal credit laws. Your business credit report has to be purchased. Personal credit reports are free, and you can get one every week now from annualcreditreport.com. So prior to COVID, that once a week was once a year. So now it's once a week. So there's no excuse for not knowing where you stand with personal credit. And on the business credit side, it actually costs the business or it costs anyone to purchase your credit report. So fun fact, personal credit reports, you have to have authorization. You have to authorize someone to pull your personal credit. Business credit, you don't. Anyone can access your business credit report if they choose to purchase it. So you have to be a little bit more on top of your information and making sure that things are accurate and correct with business credit because it's out there and because there's less regulations and less laws and rules, for lack of a better words, what happens is there's more room for error, more room for misinformation. So as you can see, there's a little bit of overlap here. The major business credit bureaus are Experian, Equifax, and Dun& Bradstreet. Experian works on both sides, as well as Equifax, both consumer and business credit. But what's unique to personal credit is TransUnion, and for business credit, Dun& Bradstreet, which is actually one of the oldest credit bureaus around. So these are some of the key differences structurally between business and personal credit. So business credit often reports differently as well because different lenders have different rules of things. So some credit issuers may report to all three. So that's one of the best things about NAV. All of you have a NAV subscription. If you don't have a NAV subscription, you want to get one because We report to all three business credit bureaus. And I've had thousands of coaching calls. I've talked to hundreds of people in person, thousands of people across the country. And I'll tell you one thing, business credit doesn't always report to all three bureaus. So when you get something that does, you want to hold on to it and make sure you treat it right because you want to build the foundation. And that's an easy way to build that first brick, that first base layer. Okay. Um, some report to two, some report to just one. So the onus is on you as a business owner to find out who reports where. So what I always tell people, pro tip, don't be afraid to call your actual creditors and say, well, hey, you know what? Do you report? What bureau do you report to? And also think about it like this. It's not bad if they don't report because at the end of the day, you're in business to operate. And if that particular credit or capital tool, loan, whatever it may be, doesn't report, if it still helps your business move forward, then it's still valuable for you to have. So you just have to be even more on top of making sure that, or intentional with making sure that you have things that show up on your credit report so you can effectively build a business credit report. How to read this. So business credit reports are not easy to read. Personal credit reports are already not easy to read. So what NAV does is that we will display your business credit report in a way that is a lot easier to digest. Okay. They look different than personal credit reports. Business credit reports also do not give you the names of your business credit issuers. So that's one of the biggest differences. So it's a business credit structure thing. This is just how it is. So you want to start to recognize patterns, just how lenders are recognizing patterns in your finances. You want to start to recognize the patterns in your reporting. So as an example, the common account category is business services. So business services would be companies like NAV, those who provide services to businesses. Home Depot. Home Depot will never say Home Depot on your business credit report, but it will fall under the account category building materials. So Home Depot, Lowe's, these type of accounts, right? Supplier accounts for the trades often are bucketed under there. Packaging as an example. So a lot of you have that packaging on your credit report and probably scratching your head like, well, what is that? More than likely is Uline. So all of these things have been verified. So once you start to recognize, okay, this is how I need to interpret my credit report, then you'll be able to identify quickly, okay, well, who's reporting and who's not. So one of the great things about having NAV or having a business credit coach, having a plan that offers that, which is our NAV Expand plan, is that we can help you narrow that stuff down and make a lot of this make more sense. Because your business credit report has a lot of information, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing to figure out on your own without support. So here's some more key information on your business credit report. I love this part. So your industry code, the NAICS, North American Industry Classification Service, right? So the NAICS code is a 6-digit code. The SIC code is a 4-digit code. So these codes are what classifies the type of business that you operate. All right. I want everybody on this call to go to NAICS.com when you get an opportunity, because this is the keyword search tool that is the database for all industry codes that are out there. What happens is with business credit, you're being judged based off the type of company that you operate. So it's very important that you're giving the credit bureaus, you're giving lenders, you're giving anybody that views your credit report the right lens to evaluate you in. Okay. So if you are a landscaper, you want to make sure that your industry codes actually show that you are a landscaper, not a beauty parlor or a consultant or something that's, much different from how you generate your revenue. Okay. So incorrect industry codes, they can create inconsistencies on your profile. It misrepresents the type of risk profile that your company should have. All right. And it's really important that you don't make this up because there's implications when it comes to this. Your industry codes follow you in a lot of different places. As an example, as a business, you should have business insurance. Your insurance carrier is determining, your premium which is, basically where you fit in their risk tolerance based off of your industry code. So they're going to look that stuff up. When you file your taxes, your industry code, your NAICS code is often going to be on your tax return. So that helps, the be able to see what type of income or expenses that you make, or your margins in relation to what's normal for the industry that you're operating in. So all of these things need to be in harmony. So it's really important that you use your business credit report to verify, like, hey, well, do I have the right industry code? And one of the greatest things about NAV is we make this section very clear under business profile. And when you go to nav.com and log in, you click credit health, you click on the actual business credit bureau and you scroll down, that's where you see your business credit profile. So we can see on the screen, this one has lessors of non-financial intangible assets. I don't even know what that is, right? But they're also a book publisher. Um, Oil royalty traders. So they publish books, they trade oil royalties, and they lease intangible assets. So to me, that's a lot of confusion. So if I was the lender looking at this, I wouldn't even know how to rate this person, right? This is why we have less success when moving through applications and processes and just, as a business. So you want to be able to move as a business as efficiently as possible. So that's why you really want to make sure that this information is spot on, as accurate as you can. All right. Dates beyond term. So again, trends, patterns, information, data. Do you pay early? Do you pay late? Do you not pay at all? Okay. So as an example here, many of us are familiar with net 30 payment terms. So if that particular invoice is due in 30 days and you pay 10 days late, you are 10 days beyond term. You want to be 0 days beyond term, because being late is being late, whether you're 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. Now, it is bucketed. So the longer you have history of being late, of course, it hurts you worse, but you don't want to be in this position at all. So instead of operating blindly, this is why you want to start to pay attention to your business credit report and see, well, what are my credit issuers, vendors, lenders showing? Remember, they don't have laws or rules or regulation that require them to report to begin with, which leaves room for inaccuracy. So it's on you to fact check those things with those who have given you business credit and making sure that everything is on time. And if you have been late, then you have to outwork that. So be on time, because time, as I say, time heals all wounds, right? Well, you have to let time do its thing if you do have negative activity. Okay, so let's move forward. Balances owed. So your business credit report will also reflect not just the type of credit that you had history with, not just how on time or late or slow or quick that you pay, but also the balances that you have. All right. So lenders want to see that your balances are manageable, related in relative to the activity that your business has. So if the business is showing history that they just aren't able to pay down the actual balances that they have on their credit cards, or invoice, style supplier or vendor style credit accounts, then that could be a signal that maybe the business is having a cash flow issue or that is struggling, right? So you want to get in the habit of understanding what's being looked at and using that to your advantage. Pay down your accounts, pay down your credit cards. You want to make sure that you don't reflect a lot of balances owed or balances owed at all. All right. So it's really important that you are on top of all of these pieces of information, because they all tell a story, and you want it to tell a story that's going to support you being able to get approved. Recent high credit. So recent high credit is actually the highest amount of credit that you have used. So as an example, say you have a business credit card that actually reports, and your recent high credit is 15,000. It doesn't mean that $15,000 is your credit limit, but that's the most that you've actually used historically. So business credit often won't always disclose the limits that you have either. So sometimes your recent high credit acts as a proxy to what a limit would be or acts like that. That's why your balance in relation to your limit is also important too, or balance in relation to recent high credit, because sometimes it can act like an artificial credit limit when a business credit report is being interpreted. All right. So again, just make sure that you're telling the right story and doing what you can to have your all of your data be as accurate as possible, because sometimes these things can be incorrect. Public records. Ooh, so this is where a lot of businesses are surprised when they finally get access to the business credit report and aren't aware of the judgments or collections or liens or things that are showing up. Um, So this can often stop a otherwise well-ran business from receiving capital, from getting approved for financing in situations where your business credit report is actually a part of the evaluation. If you have collections and liens and judgments, which all stem from, different circumstances, but what it shows is this person or this business wasn't able to do good on its debts, okay, or obligations. So it may not always be a debt or whatnot, but I digress. You want to look at your credit report and then see, well, what is it showing here? Okay. Do I have a collection? Oh, did I pay this off? So if you paid off anything or if these things have been settled, you want to use the opportunity to click on the arrow to get the sub details. Okay. Well, does it show that the lien has been released? So at minimum, you want to make sure that it shows that it's released. And if it's not, then you can support your case by contacting the credit bureaus and doing a business credit dispute. So any proof that you have that things have been satisfied, that will improve the look of your credit report overall. So it's extremely important to know what information is on your credit report. That's why you always want to have access to it, regardless of whether your business is ready for financing or not. You don't want anything that is not factual to be on your credit report. So that's the importance of staying on top of it every single month. Right. So what's in the score? So the score part is a lot different than what we're used to with consumer credit. So consumer credit, 350, 850, right? But in business credit, scores are going to vary per scoring model and per bureau. And bureaus often have multiple types of scores. So as an example, Dun& Bradstreet, their credit score is called a Paydex score. Dun& Bradstreet's credit score goes from 0 to 100. Equifax has the business delinquency score. All right. So that's them judging how long that the business will, stay in existence. And I'm oversimplifying this, but this is how you want to start to think about it. And you want your score, yes, to be as high as possible, but scores don't necessarily equate to getting approved for financing. Scores just say, well, hey, this business operates well. It pays its obligations good. We're comfortable with it. We have enough data to know that it's a lower risk. So you want to be in a lower risk zone as much as possible because that's going to be beneficial to you. And that risk area is different per type of score. The Experian IntelliScore version 3 goes from 300 to 850. So that's actually similar to personal credit. And one of my favorites, the FICO SBSS score, Small Business Scoring Service. It goes from 0 to 300. So this is the score that lenders who use the SBA guarantee use to determine your credit eligibility. Not whether you get approved or not, but it's the first step. Right now, the minimum score to qualify or pre-qualify for most SBA loans these days is about a 165. So if you have a NAV account, you want to, especially if you have one that offers the FICO SBSS, which is our expand plan, you want to pay attention to that, because if you are positioning yourself for an SBA loan, whether it's a micro loan or a larger loan, they go by the FICO SBSS. Most banks are still using that, even if it's not, officially done away with. So these scores are based on a combination of things: your payment history, number of accounts that you have reporting, your utilization, and your business age. And as an example, the FICO SBSS score is actually a blend of your personal and business credit. So it's not even just business. So when you see FICO, start to think that there's some sort of personal or consumer element in it because FICO largely operates on the consumer credit side. So lenders rarely evaluate the score by itself. They're always looking at, what did we say earlier? Signals, the broader signals behind the score. So again, you can have a high business credit score and still get denied. Why? Because you might have a lack of revenue. You might have inconsistent or weak cash flow. All right. Not enough money coming through the account to be able to justify what it is that you're trying to borrow. Okay. How do they get paid back? They get paid back through your cash flow. Bank activity just might not be, optimal. Okay. Business just may not be stable. You don't show stability. So the credit score can be achieved by a lot of things that aren't related to any of those points that I just went over. So that's why it's not always about the score. It's about the totality of your business. Are you running a strong operation? And I like to say that the credit score is a supporting player. All right. Um, so I'll give you an example. When you watch a really good movie, usually a good movie is good because it has a lot of parts that are all working together. It has a strong script. It has a really strong cast. It has a good director. Okay. It has some history in the production house or whatever that may be, right? It has a good trailer. The trailer catches you, brings you in. The credit score is kind of like your credit report, and score is kind of like a trailer. Your financials, your revenue, cash flow, bank activity, that's the script. And the actors bring the script to life, and oftentimes that's your supporting cast, right? So credit scores, credit reports support activity, but they aren't the only thing that makes the actual decision. Okay. So focus on building everything so everything is working together for the greater good. And that's how you get yourself closer to financing. How NAV helps. All right. So NAV lets you see where you stand. So again, you can't fix what you can't see. We give you a snapshot of your cash flow, your credit health. Everything is side by side, lay it out easy. Okay. We go into depth into your credit report and be able to tell you what to do next. So that's where the insight section will be able to tell you, well, what do you need to work on? And lastly, we help you make steps towards these goals. So some of our plans offer trade lines to report to all three major credit bureaus. So you got to have something to start. Again, as I said earlier, that foundational tool, that first brick into building business credit that lenders trust is going to be having that NAV subscription report. When you get ready to find financing, our marketplace can actually pair you with options based off of where your profile sits, how your cash flow looks, because you've done what? You've connected your business bank account to our NAV platform with the cash flow health so we can get an idea of what your inflow and outflow is each month. So this will help you make better decisions when it comes to your net 30 providers, particular business credit card offers or other types of lending, term loans, etc., revolving lines of credit, just to see if you are ready or have the right fit. And what I love the most is the one-on-one support because credit is hard to navigate. It's even more so with business credit because it is a little bit more vague or less talked about, in a deep sense, right? So just having that personalized coaching to where you can work with somebody that can ask you the questions to understand your business and help you get on the right track to get to the goal or outcome that you want to be, you can't beat that. So that comes with our Nav Prime Expand plan only. And I can tell you one thing, the cost to have a coach, outside of having Nav is going to be much more than the price of having the Nav Prime Expand plan. So having Nav is going to be a partner. So just how as a business, you have an accountant, you have a CPA, you have a lawyer, you have people in various roles. Nav is also part of your team. So think about us like that. So how to build your credit stack. Now, one of the easiest ways to begin building business credit is usually with vendor supplier credit and vendor supplier credit that reports to the business credit bureaus. So you want to start to think about it as a progression. Think about it as a ladder. The easiest credit to get is always going to be from another business, not from a bank. All right. So vendor credit usually has fewer qualifications. It usually doesn't require strong personal credit or personal credit at all. And it also allows your business to establish payment history, which is key. Payment history is what creates your credit score and what creates your credit report. It influences lending decisions, and you want to be powerful in being able to show a variety or diversity in the type of credit that your business can handle. Some vendors do require purchases before approving credit terms. That's not uncommon. So if you do apply for a particular vendor and they don't approve you up front, that's not a bad thing. Okay. You got to start somewhere. So again, this is about building relationship, building patterns, building trust, all about trust. So if they say, well, hey, you know what? We need you to make $100 a month worth of consecutive purchases for us to grant you credit, you want to do that because after you do that, guess what? More than likely they will. So every vendor or supplier is going to have different rules when it comes to it, but early stage businesses or established businesses alike. So we're actually on step two of the ladder. So step one is having our NAV build or expand plan because those things actually produce trade lines. So NAV will report to your credit. So that's number one. You got something showing that your company pays well, your operation pays on time, right? The next step is vendor or supplier credit. So you want to start to look at, well, what things do I naturally spend money on in my business? That keeps it easy for you to have usage. So it doesn't make sense to get a bunch of vendors and have these net payment terms and all of that if you never use it. Because again, what is your business credit judged off of? Usage, pattern, predictability. How do they perform? All right. Start to think, okay, um, do I need office supplies? Yeah, most businesses need some sort of office supplies. That's why I love those, is everybody's like first one. And then based on the industry that you have, they start to look, okay, I'm in construction. It might make sense for me to have some sort of supplier for materials. Okay. I'm in beauty. It might make sense for me to have a vendor supplier account to where I can purchase these type of products that I use daily in my business. Okay, I'm in this particular industry, or I need a service. I need someone to make a website. So all of these type of vendors actually they live live in our NAV Net 30 plus vendor marketplace. So use this to strategically build your credit stack. Different types of credit sends different types of signals. Okay, so this is that ladder that I told you about. So now we see the visual. Subscription trade lines, that's NAV. Vendor credit, those are the common vendors that we all are familiar with and may have used before. Business credit and charge cards. I want to pause right here because business credit cards are a great tool. Now, let's go a little bit deeper because, again, this is finance focus. This is underwriting focus. I want you to know how you qualify or what you're being evaluated on. That's the key with this webinar. Business credit cards are actually evaluated on your personal credit largely, not your business performance. Okay. So with a business credit card, you typically aren't submitting financial statements and documents to get approved. You have to be visible, have a business credit profile created, and largely they're looking at the operator. Okay, so how is your personal credit and what have you done, and how does that give them confidence that you will be eligible for the business credit card? So the better your personal credit is, the more opportunity you have to get business credit cards. And they're great tools because of that. So if you're early stage and are pre-revenue, then a credit card might be the thing to help you kind of get off the ground a little bit. So also, great tools. Charge cards the same, often based off of your business's actual cash flow versus, personal credit. But sometimes they're all, being evaluated. Lines of credit. So this is a step up from a credit card. So a line of credit is an amazing tool for timing, especially if you have income or receivables or things to where it's like, I know I'm going to get paid over here, but I have these real pressing needs right now. Having a revolving line of credit is an amazing tool that most business owners, regardless of industry, I'll say, usually can find a particular use case for. So you want to work to where you build not just your business credit score and report for, but you build your business to be able to qualify for all of these things. Because as your business grows and it gets to different stages, you're going to need all of them. Okay. Most businesses do, some don't, but you want to be able to take advantage of opportunity. And that's going to be due to having strong business credit and having, just the strong signals that show that your company is ready for financing. And then lastly, term loans. That's when you're ready to grow, when you're ready to borrow a larger sum of money or have a fixed payment term. Okay. So that's a different stage. So that's when hey, I need to buy a certain piece of equipment, or I need to, make some tenant improvements to my building, my space. These are all great uses of term loans. So we talked about business credit cards, personal credit strength, business identity verification. So again, you got to be visible. So if you don't have a business credit report, it's not going to necessarily be difficult to get a business credit card, but you definitely want to put yourself in position to where you have the most opportunity and having existing credit signals. So it's one of the first capital tools available. Many people start with credit cards, and that might be the thing to help them purchase the insurance that they need, or help them get some of the raw materials or supplies that they need to get started so they can create their product to thus then get their first sale or pay some of the website fees or things like that. So a credit card is a great short-term financing tool, and it should be a tool in your toolkit. So you want to start looking at building business credit. When I say for what, think about, well, what do you want to get out of it? Okay, well, you should be building a toolkit that allows you to handle all situations that come up in your business that would require credit, or credit makes the most sense. Right? Because sometimes you got to stretch your dollar a little bit. And these different tools help you navigate being able to do that. And credit cards are great. So more advanced financing. So I touched on some of this before. So SBA loans. One of the greatest things about SBA loans is they have a longer amortization schedule. So oftentimes SBA loans will go out to 10 years or even more, depending on collateral or the different type of program that you're, actually getting a loan backed by the SBA in. So the longer the term, the smaller the payment. So that can do wonders with your cash flow, especially if you're trying to expand. Hence why paying attention to the FICO SBSS score is important, because that's one of those credit benchmarks that lenders are evaluating. Term loans, again, SBA loans, term loans, it's all the same thing. These are the type of loans that will help a business grow properly, if you're making the actual choice that makes sense for the business opportunity. So if you're like, hey, I'm a landscaper and I need to get a couple more riding mowers because I want to bring on these, two crew members, right? That's going to materially expand your business because you can cut more houses all at one time, right? So getting a term loan on an actual hard asset like a piece of machinery or equipment makes sense. So whatever payment that you have, you'll be making that payment for the life of the loan, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever that is. So that is a strong use for that. So you won't buy that on a credit card. You should work to get a term loan for equipment. Okay, especially larger equipment. Revolving lines of credit, a very powerful tool, and it's strongly tied to your cash flow. And how do you get approved for this type of financing? They want to make sure that you have consistent, strong, predictable cash flow to determine approval for a line of credit. And your personal credit is still going to be taken a look at as well. So all of these things all work together. So it's not just your business credit score, it's your business credit score, your business credit profile, your personal credit, your cash flow, how liquid are you? All of the things work together to help you get to the outcome that you're looking for. Revenue history, bank statements, financial records, all of these things support what lenders evaluate. So this is a real topic here. So why do many businesses struggle? A lot of businesses just don't. understand the signals that lenders are evaluating. So you have to understand or know the rules to the game that you're playing. And once you know that, then you know how to make the adjustments so you can get to the outcome that you're looking for. And it's all about building trust. So you may have to, you continue to use your own personal capital to do what you can to generate proof of concept so you can get some sales in, so you can get some revenue. You may do that for a little bit, right? You might, use business credit cards to help do that as well if your personal credit is strong and that's the only thing that you can get your hands on at the moment. Um, Common things business struggle with is, really trying to use credit as startup capital. So sometimes that can be dangerous. All right. You have to have a plan for whatever capital that you have, because if you don't have a plan for it, then when that credit card bill comes, it's like, well, how do I pay it back? Okay. So testing the waters in ways that are least capital intensive as possible is really what you want to do to navigate that pre-revenue stage if you can. Okay, because if you haven't shown anything, it's going to be harder to get approved for capital, because again, have to be able to demonstrate, well, how can you pay it back? And that doesn't just come from your business credit report. Established business owners often don't have a strong financial strategy. So I work with several established business owners that do pretty well, but they haven't selected the right tool for the job. So what do I mean by that? In a haste, they might have gotten their hands on some high interest, capital, or the wrong type of product that may have solved the problem for the moment, but it might not be the thing that solved the problem for a lifetime. All right. So now that we know what we're being evaluated on and some of the basic things that you need to have to qualify for different types of capital, you want to structure your financial toolkit to where you have access to all of these things. All right. So that's really important. And also proven businesses with weak visibility. So you can also be proven and be established and be great. But if you don't have a business credit report or you don't have much on it, then it doesn't, lend to your credibility at all. And if you're not visible, then it's going to be hard to get approved. So, so this is the quick business credit self-check. Start to look at your identity, financial activity, credit behavior, diversity, operational stability. Do you have the information that's correct on your credit report? Does your credit behavior actually show that you're paying things on time? Does your business show consistent activity in its bank deposits and financial management? So this is how NAV helps you strengthen these signals. Business identity, we help you establish your business credit report by monitoring it, and you can see across all three major bureaus. Your credit behavior, so you can see the trade lines and things that post and what they're actually saying about your payment history. And visibility for your credit and guidance through our Nav Prime Expand plan. So our Expand plan is the one that comes with that one-on-one support, so we can walk you from the beginning or meet you in the middle and help you get to the top of the ladder, right? Because everybody is at a different stage in business, and that's really important to recognize. So having that coach, that partner is really important, because that is what's going to help you cut down on a lot of the mistakes. So in closing, business credit does not build the business. Strong businesses build strong credit. Focus on financial clarity. One, that's really important. You can't fix what you can't see. Operational stability. Make sure that you have the right tools in place, you have the right systems in place to have an operation that will be able to withstand the ups and downs that come with being a business owner. And be responsible with your credit use, because again, this is all about trust. So over time, those signals will help your business become more trusted with capital. So choose which plan works best for your needs and for your budget. So at NAV, we have something for everybody, right? So the track plan, $39.99, as we can see, you get access to the three business credit bureaus, as well as two personal from Experian and TransUnion, all right? But when you move up to our build plan, this is where it gets better, all right? So you're actually able to build credit with Prime because you get a trade line that reports from your membership. And then what did we say? Paying your membership on time. And that's the first layer, the first brick. So build is the first brick. Okay. And we don't stop there. This is where you get access to that bookkeeping tool. So I'm tying all of this together. So remember when we discuss your finances and having visibility. Well, if you don't know how much you are bringing in, you don't know how much you're spending, what your expenses are, it's going to be tough to get approved for capital. Or when you do get approved, you don't know why. And when you got denied, you definitely don't know, right? So you have to have that visibility, and you get that with the build plan. Coming soon, Nav will have a new Nav credit builder card, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be a charge card. It's not out yet, but for those of us who have revenue coming in, this will be a great option to get some of that credit card charge card layer in your credit stack that I talked about earlier. That's why the build plan is important. And then my favorite is the expand plan because you get access to all of that plus the FICO SBSS score. So those of you who are working towards getting SBA loans for whatever reason, you got to know where you stand. Again, visibility. You can't fix what you can't see. And then I would be remiss to say business credit coaching. So you have a coach. You have myself or someone like me or another member of our coaching staff that can be able to help you diagnose where you are and then guide you on that path. You have a monthly call. It's up to you when you book, and you have a set of homework and things so you know exactly what direction that you need to go into. So that's really important. So Nav, we made it simple for you. We made business credit better. And this is an opportunity for you all to, really think about where you sit here. So start to ask yourself the why. What do I want out of my business? Why am I doing this? Well, if that's clear, then we have a plan for you based off of where you are. All right. So now it is our Q&A time. All right. Any
All right.
questions?
I think the one that I would love for you to talk through is the NAICS code question. We had quite
Yeah.
a few questions about NAICS code, making sure that you're choosing the right one. There is definitely like legitimacy to making sure that you're choosing one that's maybe a little lower risk, but then you also want to make sure that you're choosing one that's accurate. How do you kind of work with clients to figure out which one to choose?
All right. So it's actually not something that you choose. It's something that is directly related to where your business earns its most revenue from, right? So you can have a primary NAICS code or a primary classifier and a secondary. So oftentimes we think about it as far as the risk, and you want to have a lower risk. Well, if you're in a higher risk industry, it is what it is, right? But that doesn't mean that you aren't approvable for capital. It just means that whatever bank or lender that you're working with, it depends on their risk tolerance. So they may say, well, hey, we might give restaurants a little bit less money. Or if you're in this particular industry, you have to have a stronger business. Okay. So it's not necessarily up to you to pick. It's your business picks it when you create the business because of the nature of the work that you do. So that's my best explanation.
Awesome. I think we were able to get to most of the others in the chat. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Like I said, we'll send out a recap after this so that you have all of this information. And in the meantime, if you want to connect to a coach like Nimaj, you can sign up for the Nav Prime Expand plan, and you'll get connected to maybe Nimaj or maybe someone else. Depends on what your business needs are. Thank you all. Really appreciate you spending the morning or your afternoon, wherever you are, with us. And have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hmm.
Mhm.